course, put in the game so that you can properly see it. So here we go, that's gonna be Oasis as the home map for of course, the Frosts. And that will be, what kind of gods do we have then in the end? That's gonna be Oranos for Titu, then it's gonna be for Miracleman Oranos as well, and Temista is gonna be playing his favorite Odin. And for the opponents, Eisenstange and Mikehei are gonna be Oranoses, with Swiss Boy playing Asra. Interesting. Quite interesting indeed in there. So, how's it gonna be with the flank and pockets and whatnot? Apparently, it seems like that actually Mikehei is gonna be flank against Miracleman. That should be quite an interesting matchup between those two. Of course, as of course on the left side, it's gonna be in the pocket player Titu, and on the other side it's gonna be Eisenstange, who is basically, well, yeah, I was kind of for a moment thinking he might be Dra, but he isn't. That would have been the best position, of course, to be having the Egyptian in the pocket, but well, that's not really true, as of course the pocket player is gonna be the Oranos on both sides. Otherwise, on the left, it's gonna be a battle between Swiss Boy and Temista a bit, as of course they are having a bit of interesting moments in front of them, and I'm definitely curious how it's gonna be approaching this, because of course the TCs are kinda forward, especially for Swiss Boy. So Swiss Boy Azra might be getting into some quite tricky situation. He does have at least one of the extra gold mines behind the back, so that's not really that bad. And yeah, could still go for the second TC, which is probably what he's gonna try to do. But well, let's see if it's gonna be helping him against Temista, because you'll be expecting that Temista will be taking TCs in the front, and much more importantly, coming into the enemy base very soon indeed as well. In the meantime, of course, we're just gonna be looking around for Miracleman, who is so far forced into a few berries. He has just now discovered the zebras that they are behind his line of sight at the top, and who else has actually missed, for example, the zebras? Well, Miracleman definitely, or rather Titu definitely didn't. We are looking at Temista, who also didn't. Has he already used his Great Hunt? No, he hasn't yet. No, which is definitely kinda interesting. He's probably waiting for a few more goats, and then he's gonna be using it on them. That's gonna be giving him plenty of extra bonus, so that's reasonable for him. Plenty of gold behind his base, and also between him and Titu, so that's what we like to see, and what the players actually are gonna be quite happy about as well. So better cavalry speed, that's gonna be helping especially to the Oranosis in this game. If it was Thor, of course, on the left side and not Odin, it could have been helping as well. But as Odin, he's quite probably gonna be using, as he just now used the Great Hunt for all of the goats in there. It's of course gonna be maybe tempting to go for a few horses here and there, but we would be really expecting the Ulsars from Temista, as it's his basically strategy to go to. So that's that. In the middle, we are also looking at Miracleman, who is looking to be controlling the middle, basically trying to see what is gonna happen with Mikehei, who is going to be his opponent and whatnot. And well, since Mikehei is already having quite plenty of oracles right next to the opponent as well, it might almost look like that he could be trying to somehow... Where is he actually having the third one? So far not seen it. Where is actually the third oracle for him? Ah, here he is, and he's moving forward, so it's almost looking like a timing for basically Valor on the oracles, and yep, try to be annoying through that point in the game, and through that. Well, on the left side, we are gonna be looking, of course, at the relic right next to the hunters that are on the giraffes for Eisenstange. Villagers kill animals in single shot, not bad, but of course could have been slightly useful against a set. In that case, it could have been really always nice. Otherwise, of course, still scouting in the middle, trying to basically control the choke point between the players and between the teams, as Titu is there as well. Like literally almost in the middle of the map, it seems like. Yeah, just about here would be the middle of the map, so nice position. And of course, this is gonna be resulting into some need of walling in the middle, so that nobody is surprised all that much. So this villager just stayed there for a bit too long, and he's gonna be even taking a bit of a flight. Yeah, he's not escaping, so there's gonna be one villager dead for Mikehei right off the bat, so that's something he didn't really want at all and didn't expect all that much. Miracleman, nice micro, trying to block the path. Definitely nicely done, and if he can really keep this up, he should be killing the villager, but it's gonna be quite close, but there is no tower anywhere close by. So this villager, unless he was heroicized, would be dead. Anyway, as he is just about now, so nicely done, very nice raid-in, and it seems like it's gonna be a whole lot more efficient than whatever Mikhail was actually trying to do, because even his oracles are not even gonna be changed into the heroes in there. Otherwise, we are also looking at interesting amount of oracles by Titu in the middle. He seems to be kinda intent on somehow maybe even sending units through the mid. And controlling that. And controlling that side in there, as the Mista is so far taking things kinda slowly, just having... You can see the goals absolutely everywhere. Probably at this point, just basically trying to prevent any kind of shift in sand stealing, which could be helping, especially on a map like Oasis, to even, or rather even, especially to Ra, because of course, he definitely could be using a few more before he gets fully onto the farms. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting use of Forest Fire. He's just gonna, pretty much gonna be trying to somehow slow down the economy of his opponent. He still has plenty of woodline behind his base, so that's alright. But yeah, it's gonna be disrupting all the upgrades and all the extra building that he could be hoping for. Otherwise, interesting that he's actually going through Bast Azara. He's not coming through the usual Ptah. That's an interesting one to notice, as otherwise, of course, still the army is coming from Miracle Man, and Miracle Man so far seems to be having quite a significantly better game than Mikhail. Miracle Man, of course, he did advance slightly faster, and much more importantly, killing the villager in there, or the citizen on the giraffes. It was supremely important, not only because of denying the giraffes, but of course also because of killing the economy in this early stage. Everything like that really counts double, and that's something that we are right now seeing in the effect. In the meantime, just a bit of a not much scouting in there going on, as Valors are being cast absolutely everywhere. It's gonna be looking like a full-on battle right now between Miracle Man and his opponent Mikhail, as not much of a flying could be had there, but the Valor is really flying absolutely everywhere. And yeah, apparently the flying is gonna be fine, or rather it's gonna be coming into place as well. But some reinforcements in the meantime too, and I'm just gonna waiting where Titu is gonna be moving forward. And then, for example, Sir Eisenstange is also gonna be moving forward. So far he has just killed one of the scouts from Titu, and he's advancing a bit more forward, potentially on Temista. But since Temista is basically fully walled, I would be really curious if this is down the wall, because it often isn't on Oasis, so it's kinda risky. But Swiss Boy also trying to raid something somewhere, and it's almost looking like that actually Temista might be aiming for some kind of fast Ragnarok. You can see that he's even coming for a second TC already, and since he has walled himself so significantly and doesn't produce really any kind of army whatsoever, yeah, I'm fairly certain this is gonna be some kind of fast Ragnarok shenanigan, and you can see that he's even walling himself away from his ally. So he kinda just wants to be left alone altogether, and yeah, just saying, guys, leave me alone and I'm gonna win the game. But I'm kinda thinking that his teammates are going to be interested in a bit more fun to be had in the game. They're gonna be having, especially against Mikhail. Miracle Man is so far doing quite well, and it's looking like that Eisenstange is finally gonna be switching into his proper opponent, into Titu, and well, Titu is quite ready for him. He's having plenty of army everywhere, so it seems there shouldn't be that much of an issue actually dealing with the middle of the map, especially since he's already walling there and sending some extra reinforcements into mid, trying to raid the opponent as well. At the top, there are already Chaos Sphinxes, it seems like. Yep, Chaos Sphinxes upgraded, getting onto the towers that have been researched, but the walling is not really all that foolproof for Temista, apparently, as he's losing buildings here and there, and he will definitely have to be a bit more careful, as even though the gold is running out, and he has quite plenty behind, so he doesn't need to worry about that. He doesn't really want any kind of raiding inside his base, losing villages, slowing down his economy, and potentially slowing down his fast Ragnarok or whatnot. Okay, so Titu doing a good job with the defense. Miracle Man needs to retreat home because he apparently has been caught off guard by Mikhail. So good job by the game player, as he is having plenty of Trumas, going to be at least trying to slow down the economy, but not really doing anything more than that, because Trumas are just not equipped all that much to kill Atlantean citizens unless they are without protection, which is definitely not happening here. So finally, army is home for Miracle Man. They're gonna be taking a bit of a flight. Swiss Boy is also through into the heroic cage. And what's happening somewhere else? Well, Pickaxe is of course gonna be coming for Swiss Boy at this point. Seems kinda late, to be honest, to be getting such crucial upgrade for an Egyptian. But well, second TCs are also being captured all across the map for Titu, for Miracle Man, and also at the bottom for Mikhail. So, well, you can see everybody having second TCs. Just the only one who isn't is so far up. because he has advanced at reasonable time, and actually at about 8:30, gonna be capturing the gold and hoping that he can actually push forward, maybe with a few scarabs as well. But with Titu just now scouting him there, he exactly knows what's going to happen, but with the Eclipse, this is actually gonna be getting quite scary, so this is of course the reason for the bust, as the Eclipse on all of those mythical units, and there are gonna be even some extras definitely coming up. I'm expecting at least one extra Scarab, or maybe a few extra Chaos Sphinxes, who knows. But that is gonna be a significant issue for Themista, if he's not ready for that all that much. In the meantime, of course, Mikey is forced back to whence he came, by Miracle Man and by Titu as well, and they seem to be really controlling the map all right, but I would definitely like for Miracle Man to place a few more walls about here, and potentially even somewhere on this part of the map, as of course that is still the way that is allowing Mikey to somehow still push into his base and make his game a bit more harder. In the meantime, plenty of army in the middle by Titu, who has been able to breach through, and that's gonna be right now an attack by Eclipse, of course, into Themista's base, who is trying to finish with even a third row of walls, which he seems to be finishing just in time. Yeah, definitely just in time. Even though there's still gonna be a bit of walling up. But yep, shockwaves being cast, and we're just gonna be waiting if he's gonna be having enough army to deal with this. So far, he's just basically making throwing axemen, while he should be making plenty more Hersirs. Looking at all of this, but the combination actually of all of those Cryosphinxes with the camels could be quite tricky. Could be quite tricky for Themista, even with the upgrade though. That's right now increasing the hit points to 1200. 1200 already. But with Eclipse, this is gonna be all too easy to actually get through. Alright, checking at the top, and of course there is a way through. Of course there is a way through. There is always a way through. This is Oasis. This is how the wood spawn very often. So this is a big mistake by Themista. And actually the very same mistake we have seen earlier today in Age of Empires match. Like literally 1-for-1. The same thing. Also missed one part of the wall in. One small part right next to the map. Right next to the map wall. And this could potentially be costing Themista quite significantly because he doesn't know about it. And oh, unfortunately, he is gonna be plugging it. So that was opportunity missed by Swiss Boy. But well, at least Themista is going to be paying enough attention so that he plugs the hole. But yeah, well, he was probably quite surprised. T2 quite nice army, gonna be covered by Sir Eisenstange. Looking at this, it's almost looking a bit more promising for Eisenstange because he's having more heroes. Especially on the Murmilos in there, it's looking really well for him. As on the right, we're looking also at still kinda, well, not that interesting battles between plenty of Turmas, as that cannot really lead to like map control or really killing your opponent all that much. We're just waiting for the heroic ages for them, and then it's probably gonna be something a bit more different. But Mikahei definitely thinking that he can somehow deny the TC to Miracle Man. Let's see if he's even advancing. That could be helping him. Well, no, he isn't. But Thea is already coming for, of course, the teal players, Scotty for Mista, and also for T2. So yeah, the ages are definitely coming up for all three. For all three of the JSS, as of course with the Eclipse, he was able to get through just basically the 2 walls in there, or rather there was a 3 walls, and that's it. And the Hersirs are already in pretty good numbers. Maybe he could be even casting Frost, which he is. Yeah, gonna be helping himself, basically rebuild the wall in, I'm thinking. And then kill all the units in the meantime. Yeah, this is actually gonna be pretty good for actually attacking the mythical units, because they're gonna be probably receiving a bit more damage. I'm not entirely certain how actually it works. If the extra damage, bonus damage that the Hersirs are having is stacked above the final number after actually armor is taken into account. Not entirely certain. But if it is, then it could be useful. If not, well, then not. That's something to test into editor. But well, in the meantime, of course, back TC is being captured for Swiss Boy and the front one as well. So it seems quite comfortable that the map is in full control, at least on the left side, which it kinda is, to be honest. It really is, but it's because Themista is aiming for some kind of faster Ragnarok, it seems. But faster Ragnarok at 30 minutes? Don't think so. It's not really fast Ragnarok anymore. It's kinda normal one, so it's just basically passive gameplay by Themista. Taunting the enemy. Come at me. Come at me. But well, they are definitely not coming in such numbers that could be really disrupting Themista in his nice turtle shell. In the meantime, Mikahei getting ready with the towers. So he's expecting attack from Miracle Man, who has been able in the meantime to finish the 30C in the front. As apparently he's gonna be in the right about now the one controlling the front TC of the enemy of Mikahei, as opposed to what Mikahei was trying to do on the other side of the map. T2 still pushing forward against Eisenstange, and it's really looking like this is gonna be developing into 2v2 with T2 and Temista against Eisenstange with Swissboy. Whereas on the right it's gonna be alone Mikahei with the Miracle Man, and they are probably quite comfortable with that, as it doesn't seem like they would be having any kind of issue with that especially as far as Miracle Man goes, because he is having one extra TC, so it's just a question of time before he is gonna be reaping benefits of that. Nice, everybody in the heroic cage. Temista advancing for the front TC, and what's gonna happen right now with other upgrades? Hecate for Miracle Man. Decent advance time right about now. And how's it looking, for example, with heavy Ulfsaks? Oh well, the upgrades are already trickling in. You can see even some copper shields are up. For red player, probably absolutely nothing. Egyptians usually don't have until about 20 minutes plus some upgrades. But how's it looking here? No upgrades for Murmilos by Eisenstange. And for blue player, he's also having at least copper shields. So already a bit better army, but he of course needs to be careful, because so far Eisenstange and Swissboy are playing well, cooperating together. Well, yeah, scratch that, not anymore. And having the army together, which is of course an issue for T2 if they catch him in 2 versus 1. In the meantime, he was able to get heavy Urmilos. Actually quite a significant upgrade in there, and it's almost looking like some kind of good battle is gonna be happening in here. So of course it's gonna be also happening on the right, where apparently Miracle Man is having a few issues of handling the situation. Otherwise no upgrades for Mikahei. For Miracle Man he's having also nothing, so basically equal, but he's having also nice TC, nicely built over, so good base building by him. But Hecate is of course gonna be pretty much a surprise for Mikahei, especially considering he's still at just 2 TCs, trying to somehow secure it through the palace. Let's go back to the left side, where a big battle is right now just starting, right next to palace and next to Migdos and another palace and absolutely everything in there. So is it gonna be going one way or the other? With all the mythical units, you can see all those 4 frost giants, and basically just Pharaoh to deal with them, absolutely no priests whatsoever. This is a huge problem of course for Swissboy, and even for his teammate Sir Eisenstange, because yep, this palace is gonna be coming down reasonably soon, and then it's gonna be kind of wide open for them to go there, but they opt to not do so, because it seems like that the extra palace and the extra TC, extra towers, nicely played by Swissboy to be honest, and with Migdol it could be just enough, with chariots also being researched into heavy, to pull their opponents back, and they will have to fight another day. But in the meantime, plenty of hill forts are coming up for, of course, some heavy Huskaros already, some copper mail and shield already up. So it's looking quite promising for them, at least for a bit longer, rather a bit later in the game. But in the meantime, definitely well played by Frosts, and they are more or less controlling the left side of the battle. In the meantime, of course, what cannot be said is controlled is Mikahei's right side. It seems like that he might be really losing the TC for good right about now, with the technological advantage that is not really that present. You can see Miracle Man no upgrades whatsoever, but he is basically having all the extra population limit above his opponent, and that's helping him quite significantly, especially with the Tartarian Gate just now being cast. So there's probably gonna be Tartarian Gate cast somewhere in the case of Miracle Man as well. Yes, there is. There's gonna be disruption in that level, and some kind of extra upgrades coming up. Don't really think so yet for Miracle Man, but for the other players, well, the 45 TC is good. Balder is coming for Temista, so definitely aiming right now for the Ragnarok, so he needs all the upgrades that he can get. He's already getting Bronze Shields, Copper Mail, so looking quite promising. Bronze Shields also coming up. And for Swissboy, 45 TC and some extra upgrades also. So they are really aiming into interesting late game. So T2. Bronze Shields already done, with gold just now finishing. The gold is actually gonna be getting a bit tricky, but looking at the trade, it shouldn't be that hard to deal with, but they need to somehow wall up. They need to wall up, for example, here, and more or less limit what actually T2 can do, because so far T2 can go absolutely everywhere, and that's not really that great, because you can see that the Mista is already building forward in the middle, gonna be stopping trade altogether in there. And of course the village is a good idea, but if it wasn't for the fact that actually military buildings, rather any buildings whatsoever for Norse, are built by units, and with the T2 arriving there as well, this is gonna be a massacre of red villages, of red trade as well. So yeah, not good news for Swissboy, because he has just finished with the mine in the middle and he doesn't have anything else just now. This is not good. He's basically left with 200 gold Potentially we can somehow move forward on this gold mine, but otherwise this is looking very dire. Very dire, and he's gonna be needing all the help that he can get from Sir Eisenstange to somehow stabilize the situation, as watchtowers are also coming up from Temista, as he does have the researches, so I kinda guess why not. Why not indeed? Okay, so here we are also looking at a bit of a safe situation by Swiss Boy, by all the chariot archers, which are of course quite useful. Not bad upgrades already. For the purple player, we are looking at baseline of upgrades for T2, bronze and the copper. So he's definitely improving in that line, and for Temista he's still having bronze and copper. So waiting for a few more extra upgrades before he unleashes this Ragnarok on his opponent as well. On the bottom side, of course, Mikahei seems to be significantly losing at this point. Or significantly, not really significantly, but just losing. As the Titan Gate is still very much alive, and oh man, that's huge. He's still forced to actually fight with it, whereas the one in actually Teal's base is already gone. But the TC in the front is gonna be finally stolen by Miracle Man. So yep, we can just be calling it. Miracle Man beat Mikahei. So this is gonna be also resulting into more of wave and ripple across all the bases that actually Frosts are having. This is gonna be Eisenstange losing the back TC, and with the belt in the middle still distracting quite significantly. It's looking like that we're ready in for the Ragnarok, or maybe is this just coming for the gold or already the Ragnarok? No, he's just coming for the gold. And then he's gonna be switching into Ragnarok when he has so many resources that he can do whatever he can a bit later. So that's number 6 yellow. You can see he's having pretty decent resources, especially the gold is not bad. That's gonna be helping him stay alive a bit longer. It seems that Swiss Boy with Eisenstange were able to somehow stop what Temista was doing in the middle, but is it actually gonna be enough? Because T2 was in the meantime able to actually do something a bit similar with his palaces and with his army, and he's basically just continuing applying pressure in there and helping his teammate Miracle Man push ever forward and more or less ignore Mikahei and try to basically kill Eisenstange so that they are having a bit easier time with the Ragnarok at the top. Yep, Temista having fun. Temista having so much fun right now with all those portable rams. Having Dwarven Ogre Engineers. Oh man. Oh man, here we go. So that's gonna be plenty of towers basically dead without any kind of problem. Of course, villages with their bonus against siege weapons, that's gonna be helpful, but not really in the long run. As unfortunately Swiss Boy is missing some upgrades. He is having some just masons, definitely missing architects at this point. But Eisenstange has lost the TC. That was, of course, fought over in the bottom by Miracle Man, who is at 4 TCs, and Ragnarok has been invoked just about now. So yep, all the army is gonna be flooding right now into the Red's base, and he's having very nice upgrades. Iron, double bronze, and some extra upgrades coming up. Burning Pitch and Secrets of the Titans. And yep, this is where Frost are actually gonna be tapping out, as JSS have been able to steadily move forward. And you can see that even by passive approach by Temista, it was still quite enough for him to basically control the game as well. But it has to be said, it was mainly by, or rather thanks to T2. T2 was basically making up for the lack of aggression by Temista and controlling the situation and keeping his opponents at edge, giving Temista all the time to prepare and get ready for what was going to come. In the meantime, of course, at the bottom, Miracle Man and Mikahei had quite nice 1v1, which was in the end won by Miracle Man. And that also resulted in Sir Eisenstange getting stung into the back in there. Well then, so that's gonna be, of course, looking at the post-game for this game, and then we're gonna see what's gonna happen next. There might be some other games still going on. In the meantime, T2 definitely deserved, and well, yeah, he was really important for the game, because he was allowing Temista to do what he was doing. And just good teamwork. They just knew what they can afford, what they can do, but has to be said, very well played by Frost as well. They were quite competent. Quite competent opposition. Well, Eisenstange military count 170, units killed 91. That's not a great efficiency, to be honest, but well, for Temista, because he's having 80 Heroes of Ragnarok, but still 100 against 62. Also not really that stellar. Not great, really. T2 was though quite efficient. T2 was really the important player in this game. Well done. GG.